Scientists have been measuring consciousness in labs for decades, but what they discovered in 2019 changed everything. They found that a simple mental shift creates measurable changes in quantum field behavior around your body. And when you learn how to flip this switch consciously, reality starts reorganizing itself to match what's happening in your mind. I'm not talking about positive thinking or visualization. This is about a fundamental mechanism of consciousness that physicists accidentally stumbled upon while studying something completely different. They were trying to measure electromagnetic fields around the human body when they noticed something bizarre. The field patterns changed dramatically based on the specific mental state of the person being measured. But here's where it gets even stranger. The changes weren't random. They followed a predictable pattern that matched what quantum physicists had been theorizing about consciousness for years. When someone shifted from what they called particle consciousness to wave consciousness, the entire field around their body reorganized itself. Let me explain what this actually means because it's going to change how you understand your own mind. In particle consciousness, you're focused on specific outcomes, specific things you want, specific problems you're trying to solve. Your consciousness is like a laser pointer focused on one spot. And when you're in this state, reality responds in a very limited, linear way. But wave consciousness is completely different. It's when your awareness expands beyond specific outcomes and you enter what researchers call a field state. You're not focusing on getting that specific job or that specific relationship or that specific amount of money. You're existing in the feeling of already having what you want, but without the attachment to form. This might sound abstract, but the measurements don't lie. When people shifted into wave consciousness, the electromagnetic field around their body became more coherent. It literally started vibrating in a more organized pattern. And here's the kicker. Within 48 to 72 hours of maintaining this state, their external reality started shifting to match the coherence of their field. One participant in the study was struggling financially. She'd been in particle consciousness for months, obsessing over specific dollar amounts, specific opportunities, specific solutions. The researchers taught her how to shift into wave consciousness. Instead of focusing on, I need $5,000 by next month, she learned to exist in the feeling of financial freedom without attaching it to numbers or deadlines. Her field coherence increased by 300% in the first session. But more importantly, within 4 days, she received an unexpected check from a class action lawsuit she'd forgotten she was part of. This wasn't manifestation or law of attraction. This was physics. Her coherent field state created what physicists call increased probability of favorable quantum collapse. See, at the quantum level, reality exists in multiple potential states until it's observed. This isn't New Age philosophy. This is proven quantum mechanics. The double-slit experiment showed us decades ago that particles exist as waves of probability until they're measured. What the 2019 research revealed is that your consciousness is constantly collapsing these probability waves into your experienced reality. But here's what nobody talks about. Most people are collapsing probability waves from a state of incoherence. Their electromagnetic field is chaotic because their consciousness is frantically jumping between what they want and what they don't want. They're simultaneously collapsing waves of abundance and waves of lack. So they get mixed results. Some good things happen, some bad things happen, and life feels random. Wave consciousness changes this entire dynamic. When you're in wave consciousness, you're not frantically trying to control which probability waves collapse. You're creating a coherent field that naturally attracts coherent outcomes. It's like tuning a radio. Particle consciousness is like frantically spinning the dial trying to find a station. Wave consciousness is like setting the dial to a clear frequency and letting the station come through. The researchers discovered 3 distinct markers that show when someone has successfully shifted from particle to wave consciousness. First, their heart rate variability increases. This means the spacing between heartbeats becomes more varied, which is actually a sign of a healthy, adaptable nervous system. Second, their brainwaves shift from beta to alpha and theta frequencies. And third, the electromagnetic field around their body becomes measurably more coherent. But here's where most people get stuck. They try to force themselves into wave consciousness. They sit there thinking, I need to stop wanting things specifically. I need to be in the wave. I need to let go of attachment. But that's still particle consciousness. You're using focused attention to try to achieve unfocused awareness. It's like trying to relax by tensing all your muscles. The secret is something the researchers called the consciousness switch. It's a specific mental move that instantly shifts you from particle to wave state. And once you understand the mechanism, you can flip this switch whenever you want. The switch works like this. Instead of thinking about what you want, you shift into thinking from already having it, but not in a fake, forced way. You access what they call the feeling signature of your desired reality. Every possible reality has a unique feeling signature. The version of you who has financial freedom feels a certain way in their body. The version of you who has perfect health feels different than the version who's worried about symptoms. These feeling signatures aren't just emotions. They're full body states that include how you breathe, how you hold your shoulders, how your stomach feels, even how your thoughts move through your mind. When you accurately access the feeling signature of your desired reality, your electromagnetic field immediately starts reorganizing to match it. One researcher described it like this. Imagine you're an actor preparing for a role. You're not pretending to be the character, you're finding the feeling of being that character until it becomes natural. Wave consciousness works the same way. You're not pretending to have what you want. You're accessing the version of you who already has it and letting that feeling signature reorganize your field. But this is where the science gets really interesting. When multiple people in the study maintained wave consciousness focused on similar feeling signatures, their fields began to entangle. This is quantum entanglement happening at a macro level. Their individual electromagnetic fields started behaving as one larger field, and the probability collapse effects multiplied. A group of 8 participants all focused on the feeling signature of abundance. Not specific money amounts, just the feeling of having more than enough. Within 2 weeks, all 8 experienced unexpected income. But here's the weird part. The amounts they received were mathematically related. One person got 2,200, another got 2,400, another got 3,600.